What's up, everybody? Or hello, folks. I started saying, what's up, everybody? Hello, folks. Welcome to Nateland. Sitting here today, I'm Nate, Aaron, Brian, as usual. Big shout out today to Helix Sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz and they'll match you to a mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Find your perfect mattress at helixsleep.com/Nate. That's helixsleep.com/Nate. Happy New Year. This is the first episode of the rest of our lives. 2021. We did it. Everybody's glad that we're done with 2020. Mm-hmm. People seem to be. And we made it. We're doing the new year.
Did you party it up New Year's Eve?
We went and ate, and then that was it. So came back and we did the Eastern time zone New Year's for the kids.
The ball dropping.
Yeah, 11 o'clock, did it. Told them it was, and they were just like, but it says, they keep figuring it out. But why does your phone say 10:59? I go, my phone's not correct. Yeah. My time that gets from the satellite, that's precisely perfect.
There's a whole hour behind.
Must be something's up with it. Technology.
I remember going with you guys to a New Year's Eve party when Harper was 2, and she stayed up to past midnight.
Yeah, Harper's like me. Harper just doesn't nod off. She's not like Laura. Well, we watch a movie. We can't start a movie past 9, or Laura will never make it. Harper will stay up, and so we always tell her she can try to stay up as late as she wants. I think Harper could stay up 24 hours. And I would like to try that one day to see. But we made her go to sleep. I mean, she gets obviously she's tired. She gets delirious. And it's like kids, it's pretty funny. You see like kids get drunk because they're just so tired and they're just being silly and they're very funny. And and when you try to make them go to bed, it's like a meltdown. Yeah. And so we made it that night. She went to bed, it was around midnight, I guess, 11:30 midnight. And then she's, you're never going to get to stay up ever late again. And you promised me one night. And I was like, all right, we're stay up. One night, I was like, we're do it. We were having a big day the next day with my family. So I was like, we can't do it tonight. And then the next night they ended up staying up till 2. So I was like, this is your night.
Wow.
This is it. This is the dinner, like in the Seinfeld, the soup.
This is the meal.
This is the meal. All right, we're doing it. So we got it, but it was good. It was a fun. We did it. We had fun. 2021 feels like the same. So we're start off as usual. First comments of the new year. These are from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcast reviews, and you can always email Nateland@natebargatze.com. First up, Lori Crawford. I just want to let you guys know how great you are. Sadly, extremely sad, my son succumbed to his PTSD. Man, this is like a sad one. I'm already messing up. Succumbed? Uh-huh. All right. Succumbed to his PTSD struggle last week before Christmas. And needless to say, as his mother, I was beyond devastated. I had not smiled or laughed or felt any happiness in days. Then I had to go somewhere one day. When I got in my car to drive, your podcast came on and it made me smile, even laugh. I was so grateful at that moment for you and what you do. So thank you so much. Keep it up. I'm going to need you a lot in the future. Wow. Well, thank you, Lori. That's super nice. We'll keep your son in our thoughts and prayers. And that's tough, man.
And I corresponded with her. She said she wanted to really thank you for doing shows for the troops. It meant a lot to her family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm the loser. Those guys are the...
She said that too.
But wow. She really
agreed with all that. Yeah.
Tell him, don't let him think he's not better than us. I don't want him to get too ahead. David Banner. Thanks to you kind folks, I have a connection with my son who is on the autism spectrum. I drive him to a special school that is a 30-minute commute each way. For a long time, we just drove in silence because he doesn't want to talk or listen to music. I'd love to now. I might want to ride with your son. I love that, but you just don't have to talk or listen to music for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll take him to school. I love the Netflix special for the unbelievable level of comedy and the clean humor. I turned on your podcast one morning. I expected him to protest. He didn't say anything for about 10 minutes, and then he started laughing at everything. We love the banter, the teasing back and forth, and the sarcasm. Sarcasm is a rare thing for a person with autism to fully grasp, but he loves it all. Now, we listen every day and talk about the stuff that you guys are stumbling through. I can't thank you enough for giving us this opportunity to share. Well, thank you, David.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah. Thanks for your son, too. I'm glad he loves it. And yeah, I'll ride with him. 30 minutes, no talking, no music. I'm on board. And he wants to just listen to talk radio. I mean, what is the greatest car ride of all time? John Brocado. I love everything about this podcast, including the fact that Nate and Aaron blazed right past the cleverest statement uttered so far on the show. Nate thinks a pronoun is a noun that gets paid to be in a sentence. This is next level brilliant and easily Bracelet's shining moment. That's what you said?
Yeah, when you're talking about you didn't know what an adverb was, yeah. I said Nate thinks a pronoun's a noun that gets paid to be in a sentence.
Oh, wow. That is, I don't think funny. I caught it. That's very funny.
We talked right past it. I'm sorry.
Wow. Bracelet. Bracelet's that's a funny word. Bracelet's a funny word.
Yeah.
Look at that. At least he got it, huh? You wrote that, but John Brocado's your fake name.
And I was like, if I call myself by my real name,
they're going to get it.
They'll get it. Let me call myself Bracelet.
Jeff Fox, the fact that a man who thinks we can use etc. in places of numbers is wildly successful is all the proof we need that this is the best time to be alive.
That's a good point.
That is. The fact that a man who thinks we can use etc. in place of numbers is wildly successful.
He said pi is 3.14, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, et cetera. Are we going to go through them all? Who's going to go through them all? No one's going to go through them all.
Yeah.
You just keep them rolling, dude. And the fact that I am successful is proof.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of dumb people doing a lot of big things right now. More than ever. Yeah. You think cavemen, you couldn't have had just a dumb, they died immediately.
Yeah.
They would just be gone.
Yeah.
You couldn't survive, you know?
Especially the dumb ones.
I mean, the dumb ones, some of them would survive out of pure just
luck.
Yeah, luck, and like they're not scared. They're not scared of anything, so they're fighting animals.
Yeah,
like they just go into it, fighting a lion. They're like, whatever, man. You know, you need some of that. But nowadays, yeah, I think that's our main problem. We got too many dumb people that have too many big of platforms. Christopher Stanley. Nate tries to hum a few bars of Downtown by Petula Clark to see if he can get Aaron to recognize it. Aaron begins singing lyrics from Fall Out Boy. I almost choked to death taking a sip of water as that happened. Aaron wins Millennial of the Year.
I'll take it, man.
Congrats,
That's
buddy.
A title, dude.
Yeah.
Millennial of the Year.
You're thick in the millennials.
Yeah, I'm what you think of when you hear millennial. I'm like right in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
The worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Or the best of the best.
Depends on who you're talking to.
We're doing good stuff, I think.
I think millennials do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
I think do a lot of crazy stuff too.
A lot of people commented on the Downtown, like, how did you guys miss the Seinfeld reference? You did say it. You said it really fast.
Downtown. And
you said Seinfeld reference, but
yeah,
we'd already talked about it before the show.
Yes. And it was, a lot of our funniest stuff we get out of the way. And that was a reference that Downtown, I think sometimes we make these Seinfeld references. They're so quick and they're as if we're just sitting in the room alone and we say it and it's like, it's not as always pointed out. But yeah, that was a great Downtown. They break down the entire song.
Yep.
Pete Leanheers, Leenheers, Leanheers, maybe Leanheers. Pete Leanheers. What do you think he says?
Leanheers?
You think that's what? There's no way.
You said Leanheers?
Leanheers sounds
okay.
If I'm interviewing,
it's an odd way to spell it.
Well, if I'm interviewing a guy and he comes in, I go, "What's your name?" He goes, "My name's Pete Leanheers." You're going, "Well, Pete, why don't you walk on back out of here?" You think I'm gonna pronounce that name like that?
Leanheers.
He goes, "Pete Leanheers." That's what he says, Leanheers, and you go, "All right, Pete, I'll talk to you."
That's fair.
The odds of him winning an Emmy with 2 of 4 nominations, assuming random selection, is in fact 83%, not 50 or 75. He had a 17% chance of not winning an Emmy. That's exactly right. 83 is still a lot.
It is. A few people did that math for us.
Yeah.
And, I asked my buddy, Ben Hall, who listens to the podcast, about what he was thinking. He's the one that lost out that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, what were you thinking? He said, I took a date. That's how confident I was that I'm going to win something. And then when they announced, we've got a tie, he's like, I've won twice.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to win twice.
Yeah.
And then
he's won both of them.
And he had to call his parents and say, I didn't win. They're like, well, who did win? He said, everyone but me.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
3 people. He's 2 of them. That almost like someone did that on purpose.
Someone had it out for him.
I would believe that someone had it out for him. I mean, how do you not, how do you not have it out for him? Is this clock counting down? We got a new clock in.
It's going up. 10 minutes, 52 seconds.
Okay, I get it now. Man, that confused me.
Wait,
We're trying to we got a new clock to go that 11. One of the things is in blue. Can you show it? Can it see it? And so the 11 is in blue. So we always have a clock there to kind of see where we're at. And so that 11, this is new. I just saw it running. I go, what's the blue number? And everybody goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing the other thing, and I'm like, what is happening? And it was I didn't figure it out. All right. We figured it out now. Now we got it.
Yeah.
We got what it is. So everybody calm down.
We'll do an episode on time sometimes.
Yeah. How did time get invented?
Yeah.
What is time?
Or is it invented?
Is it? Yeah. Is there some people that don't believe it?
Is it a human construct, or is it just, we can dive into it later, but.
Like, did we make it up? Does it even matter what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, the sun sets and stuff, so you're going to say what time, how long is the sun up? So wouldn't it just be, there's still time, whether it's a number or not, right?
Right. Okay.
All right.
I don't know. I'll have to wait till Brian does all the research, and then we'll learn more about it.
We're going to talk about some of that today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Teaser.
A little teaser. Into,
Stick around, folks. or say goodbye.
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm out. These guys are going to delve into that. No, guys, it's much boringer than time.
Some time.
Yeah. You wish we were going to get into time. That's what is going to happen when you get done with this podcast. Is go, why don't y'all do time? Good night. How long was that? That podcast took a lot of time. Zachary Zern. Zachary Zern. Sewer systems and access to clean water greatly increased around 1900. Infection and disease decreased dramatically as soon as we were able to efficiently get rid of sewage. Next time you flush, remember how good you have it, folks. This toilet is the most underrated invention of all time. The toilet is. It's pretty true.
Yeah.
Something you don't think about. Everybody says slice of bread. It's great. It was great as a slice of bread. Isn't that the same?
Yeah, since sliced bread. Yeah.
Since sliced bread. But so they should say that. But the toilet, I would think, is just, anytime you're going to say a saying like that, it's probably a little grosser.
Oh, it's the best thing since toilet.
This is the best thing since the toilet. If you're at a party, everybody's like, all right. And then you go, let's just say slice of bread. That's a little bit, it's a little, we can roll with it. Everybody's like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And toilet seems okay.
I go with AC.
Because he doesn't just stop. He goes, what do you mean the toilet? He goes, because you're pooping it. And everybody's like, all right. Yeah. Whoa. Back up. Hold on. Yeah. AC. Well, the toilet, though, I agree with him. The toilet's, that's a world of problems.
Yeah. I agree, but I feel like I've been giving it the credit it deserves my whole life. I didn't know if you guys been walking around taking it for granted.
Y'all probably talk about it at your dinner table. Do y'all do that? Do y'all talk about?
They debate it.
Y'all debate it and go, all right, Weber's.
Yeah.
What's the best invention that you've seen? And then you go, Dad. And then you cut and y'all eat.
All I know is, I guess, I'm never really without a toilet, but when I'm without AC, that changes my life.
Yeah.
For a while.
But I mean, if you could go with one or the other,
I'd take the toilet probably. Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, that's the air conditioning. You can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Fall's coming.
Get a fan. You're right. Or just wait for the
colder
temperatures.
It's gonna come. Just start walking north. Do opposite of the birds. That's what you do. You do opposite of the birds.
Yeah.
Start heading north. You want to be in that good.
This person's making the point that's when lifespan started increasing greatly. We showed that graph last week.
It's just when so it wasn't Walmart that was invented. It was toilets.
Well, you might be right. Might be
who
Walmart
was selling these toilets.
Yeah. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah. I think a little bit of both. I think a little Walmart and toilet had a lot to do with it. Someone went into Walmart, used the toilet, and goes, we can buy these for our house. Morgan Smith. I love when Aaron just gives up and tells Nate that's fair. Even when Nate is arguing for something utterly atrocious. Aaron senses when it's time to move on and says that's fair, so Bedpost can move the show along. Love the podcast. Morgan sees right through us. That is fair, Morgan. She gets it.
Yeah, I think I've done that already today.
Yeah, you go, that's fair. You give up. You don't want to talk about it.
Well, that's just where you get to the point where you're like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then,
you don't want to talk about it much anymore. You're kind of over it.
Well, you do it. You can pin people into a corner.
Yeah.
You can.
Who, me?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
And then you just, when you're in the corner, you just go, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's throwing the towel in is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to back you down in a corner where you can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to go, that's fair. Then I go,
all right, Bedpost.
The door's right there.
Yeah.
Then Bedpost goes, all right. And then next round, he rings the bell.
Yeah.
Next round. Lori Renshaw, a couple Loris. Lori Renshaw, I hate to be this person, but as a pharmacist, I have to clarify the aspirin situation. It's actually 325 milligrams per tablet, so just under 100 tablets a day. I guess they kept the news of the truckloads of aspirin being delivered daily to the corner pharmacy out of the headlines too. Whoever had the patent was making a killing in more ways than one. So we were saying 150.
So...
And it's only 100.
Just under 100.
Still a significant amount of aspirin.
It's still a lot.
I mean, just the sheer volume of the pills is going to be a problem in your stomach.
Yeah. I mean, it's a meal. 100.
Yeah.
Did you eat breakfast? Kind of. Did we already do that joke? Kind of might have done that. Yeah, I mean, it's still 100. But it's not as bad. If you went to a town and they go, we do 100, and the other town does 150, you'd go, well, I'm glad to be here. I'm still not thrilled.
Yeah.
But if you just went to you go a town over and they go, we do 100, we're not crazy. And you go, you're definitely not as crazy because they're doing 150 right over there.
Yeah.
And you're at 100. But I mean, I think y'all still need to calm it down. I always think aspirin, I always take it. I never think it's this magical thing that I feel better.
You don't feel it working?
I don't think so.
Are you talking about like Tylenol or anything?
Yeah.
I
mean, I'll take it. I guess maybe you have a severe headache. I don't like to take stuff.
That's probably a good mentality.
Yeah. I've never been a big where I want to take a million things. I mean, I have to take some stuff, and now I'm taking Zyrtec. I'm supposed to. I don't take it all the time. I'm supposed to.
Allergies.
Just like allergies. I never had allergies, but I have them more than I ever have now. And so I took one today. You're supposed to take it every day, but I don't. Mm-hmm. And then, I'm not a big fan. I try to take stuff to sleep. That's the only thing that I do. But I've narrowed down to it has to be Sour Patch Kids late at night. That's what I think.
You just looked at me like, how many do you take,
That's
Brian?
what I was saying, what's your pill regimen?
Well, it's got a day. It's got a marker. Yeah. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Do you have a marker?
Yeah, I've said that on here before. I have a pill box now.
Oh, man. Do you do Saturday, Sunday together, or is the S's separate?
Separate
S's.
Yeah,
that's good. What age did you have to get it? Just recent?
Yeah. This year, last year, I guess,
because it just started becoming a handful. The amount of pills you got to take, it starts to get.
Yeah.
How many pills are in the thing?
Just two.
I
could just never remember if
you've taken it already.
Yeah, that's tough. That's not an age thing. I think everybody would probably have trouble remembering it. Mm-hmm. But so you just set them out every morning, and then you just grow and take your two.
Yep.
All right.
One's for acid reflux.
Oh.
And one's just a
daily
vitamin.
One's just your face.
What?
I don't know. I just felt like that was fun to say just one, and one's just for my face in general. And then they had a pill for like that insulting. That would be the doctor. He goes, and this one's just for your overall.
Here's one for your face.
You're a pretty rough looking guy, and you're like, good night, dude. And he goes, yeah, it's just a good pill for you. He goes, what does it do? Because I honestly don't know. It gives you worse vision. So
it's a straight up roast.
So you don't see it. I'm not saying you. Now we're going along with it.
Oh, okay.
I like the idea of a pill. They should make a pill that does that for people's face. It's for your face. And a doctor just says that. Straight up your face. When I get questions from doctors, I feel like I never know how to answer any of their questions. when they ask. I went and had a physical, and it's like I've had my shoulder hurt, and which I've been golfing an obnoxious amount, and then I started working out a little bit. So I was like, it's probably working out. I blame it on working out. Even by the way, I swing a club every day. Yeah. It's probably that. And then they go, and she was like, I bet you've had that the whole time. So it's a good. We were talking about that earlier. Like you get to an age where it's just like, you just.
Sounds like she didn't know how to answer you.
I think so, but I don't ever know how to tell them exactly the problem. I would think doctors have a big problem with that. Is that they don't know how to get the information from the patient.
Yeah.
When they go describe what it is, and you go, I don't know if I can.
I've thought about that. If there should be some device that the doctor puts it on, and then they can feel whatever pain you're feeling. That would be
unbelievable.
And they're like, I know exactly what that is.
And you go, that's. I mean, that's why you need a doctor that has a ton of experience. Because he's going to go, I've heard this before. Whatever example, because this is back to my point. Like this is why jokes, and I'm kind of all over this, but this is why I think jokes work so much. When jokes can be relatable. Like when you write a joke and it's very relatable to a group of people, because we're all the same. None of us are doing anything that's really different. We have the same kind of fights with our families and same kind of stuff. So a doctor can, when you go describe a pain, the way you describe it, unless you're like a weirdo that describes it some weird way, the doctor's probably heard that and then is going to know what it is.
Yeah.
But you need him to have that experience to be like, I've looked at thousands of people and I've heard 1,000 people be like, it's just like in my back of my tricep, or something. And then they go, I know, I get the idea of what it probably is. But yeah, it is hard to tell them.
I remember I went to the doctor once with like sinus problems, and the doctor goes, does it feel like somebody's blowing up a balloon inside your head? I was like, that is perfect.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with the analogy. I was like, God, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it, but yeah, exactly.
And then you go, and then he goes, take this. Right. This is for your face.
Yes.
That was a pill for your face.
That is a face pill.
That was a face pill. For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I bet doctors get frustrated now with all the self-diagnosis from the internet.
Yeah.
Because whenever I go in, I always tell the doc what I think it is, and he always just stares at me, lets me finish, and then he tells me what it is.
Yeah.
But I always look it up, I feel like I need to tell him what I think it is.
Yeah. Well, you want to lead him down. Well, I guess you're worried they don't care. That's what you have a fear that they, it's the way I look at it. It's why I don't trust in anything, or I'm always skeptical of stuff. It's because everybody's still a person.
Yeah.
So whatever person, that'd be like if people, when you have to take your clothes off to a doctor, it's hard for you to rationalize. Like, you don't you're like, you're not going to make fun of me when I leave the room or something. And you're like, well, I'm a doctor. I don't look at it that way. And you're like, I don't know how to not, you're still a person.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't tell me that there's not, you don't go, well, we do, you don't bring it up. And when you have your doctor party, sit next to a proctologist. You sit next to a proctologist at a party, you stay there.
Yeah.
That's a Seinfeld
have I talked about
a million to one, doc. Million to one.
I went to the ER like a few months ago.
Since we've done this podcast?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
No, you haven't.
It's during COVID. My foot just started hurting. Yeah. Middle of the night, I couldn't sleep.
This is before Krispy Kreme. I want that on the record.
Yeah. Okay. It had nothing to do with Krispy Kreme. And it wasn't like, I looked up like diabetic nerve pain. I was like, what is this? Couldn't figure it out. And I couldn't describe it better than just my foot hurt real bad. The whole foot. And I just couldn't sleep. I called my mom. She goes, just go to the ER. It could be a blood clot or something. I don't know. So I go to the ER. I'm the only one there. And the whole time I'm like, they're just going to think that this is like not a real thing.
Yeah.
So I was just so nervous about trying to articulate how bad it hurt. So I'm sitting in the chair thing, and the person comes in and they're like, did you hurt it? Did you bump it into something? I was like, no. Did you twist it? I go, I was just sitting down and it just started hurting. Yeah. So she goes, okay. And I see her walk out in the hallway and like a group of them, and they kind of all look at me at once and then look back. And I was like, they're just talking trash out there, dude. They're like, we'll give you an x-ray maybe. I mean, this not anyway, they just sent me home.
Yeah.
And it got fine after a while. I don't know.
It never hurt you again?
No, it hurt so bad though. And I had no idea what it was.
Could you walk on it?
No, I couldn't walk on it.
And then no medicine or anything. It just went away.
They said, just take some ibuprofen. Like, I was like, can I get a prescription? They're like, look, you don't need a prescription.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. Took some aspirin. Yeah. I didn't even take 100. I just took 3 or 4.
And it went away and you're fine now.
Yeah, I'm fine. Hasn't hurt since.
You did a Lambeau leap this weekend.
I did do a Lambeau leap. Yeah.
You went to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, maybe someone will write in and be like, "Yeah, dude, you need to go back."
You're gonna lose that foot.
I might
Yeah.
need to.
Maybe
It
it's
feels
the first
great
sign.
now, though, dude.
If anybody has a heavy diabetes, listen to this. Let us know if you go, "Oh, I remember that day." If you're listening to what Aaron just said, you go, "I remember that day," and it was 20 years before it all went down. Just give us a heads up.
Yeah.
Brian Keegan. Hello, folks. I enjoyed watching the Donut Challenge episode very much. It reminded me of a challenge we did with a guy at work. We dared him to eat one of everything from the company vending machine. The machine had small packages of chips, cookies, candy bars, etc., etc. It sounds easy. I even considered trying it myself. I'm glad I didn't because not even halfway through, my coworker was thrown up in a garbage can. We think it may have been the breath mints that put him over the top. He was miserable, but he made a boring day at work more entertaining for all of us. It was a well day. Love you, Nate, Aaron, and especially Brutus Beefcake. Keep up the good work. I love that. Like, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I like that.
You think you could eat all the vending machines?
I was thinking, I could do that. And then he mentioned breath mints. I was like, God, you'd have to eat a whole
You got
pack.
all the row of gum down there, and you got to just swallow the gum? Or
Yeah. No,
don't know
I'm
how
sure you
that
can
would work.
spit it out. The gum.
You just chew it till.
I think you just have to chew it. But I would definitely go gum last.
Okay.
You start at the bottom with
You
the
start at the
heaviness.
top and maybe work your way down.
No, I'd start at the bottom.
I always think the
stuff's at.
gum's at the bottom.
Well, I guess it is. I guess it depends on where your vending machine.
Mhm.
But wherever the gum's at, you want to start opposite of that,
Yeah.
and then you want to go from there.
How long you got to chew each piece?
I would just throw it's probably Juicy Fruit 5. Just dump them all in there.
Yeah.
The Juicy Fruit 5.
Yeah.
They fought for equality in the 60s.
It's a Netflix documentary,
It's
The Juicy Fruit 5.
Was it serious? It wasn't. It was a normal. It was really fighting over nothing.
They wanted the same rights as Big Red.
Yeah. You're gonna put us on the same shelf? Look how far back we are. We always have one little metal bar that's empty in front of us. What is that doing to us? No one ever buys us. Helix Sleep. I know some of you are sleeping on some saggy old mattresses at night and you deserve better than that. So give yourself an upgrade. We have my brother spent the night over here this weekend with his family. They slept on a Helix mattress. He loved it. He is sleeping with his neck problems, honestly. And then was like, I slept great after this night of the Helix Sleep. He slept on our Helix Sleep mattress. Who else got one? I
have one,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have one. You've been
Mhm.
sleeping great on
It's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Keeps you cool. It got so many different kinds. Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes you just 2 minutes to complete and match your body type and sleep preference to the perfect mattress for you. Everybody's unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattresses models to choose from. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Some mattresses are great for cooling you down if you're hot when you sleep. I am. I don't start like that, but then I end up like that. And even a Helix Plus mattress for plus size folks. And if you have a weird foot that feels weird, Helix has a pillow that arches it up. I took the Helix quiz and I was matched with a Helix Dusk Lux mattress because I wanted something that felt medium, and I basically sleep on my slide. I love it. When we've slept on it, it's been awesome. I'm a big side sleeper, hand under the pillow. Helix is awesome, but you don't need to take my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 and by GQ and Wired magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/Nate. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. And they have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it. You will. Helix is offering up to $200 off. $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Nate. All right, everybody. We had a big, like we said earlier, we had a great New Year's and all that stuff. We also got something sent to us from a listener. Apparently, the dead Burt Reynolds is a big fan of the show.
The Burt Reynolds.
Dear Nate, Aaron, and Brillo Pad. Hello, folks. It's me, America's favorite dead actor, 1970s sex symbol, Mr. Burt Reynolds. Aaron might be too young to know who I am, but I'm sure Nate has heard of me, and I think I went to high school with Belly Button's son. I won't. We'll post the whole thing so you can read it. It's very funny. It's what this is from is we have a mutual friend, the dad Burt Reynolds, and me are friends with Greg Garcia, and he's got a TV show. The guest book is going to be available on Hulu soon, and he actually sent us episodes of the guest book to watch. I don't know if anybody saw the guest book when it was on. Not a lot of people watched it. And no, I'm not joking. That's for Greg. No, but it was a great show, and it's going to be on Hulu soon. Greg Garcia is he listens to the podcast. I've got to be lucky to become very good friends with Greg. He also created My Name Is Earl, The Millers, guest book, Raising Hope. I might be missing one more. Like he's done a lot, and honestly, one of he's not one of the best writers I've ever met. I've never seen. He's would be a phenom in my eyes. Of the dude can write a script, and it's so good and writes it so fast, and he's just on another planet. I mean, he came and helped us when we were writing our show that didn't go anywhere, and it's probably Greg's fault that it didn't. But when we were writing that show, Greg came in to help, and it was unreal how good he was, how much he would like come in and write, and it was just unbelievable. Like he just would come in and like he'd throw out, I have this idea, and you're like, all right. First time when I first met him, I didn't know him, and so they're like, he's helping us, and I was like, I got to listen to this idiot talk. And so then he tells us, he's like, well, what about if you do this for your ideas? And I was like, well, that's maybe the greatest idea I've ever heard. And then we just immediately changed. And I was like, we should do all of those ideas. And we basically rewrote the script because of him. So he's unbelievable. And so check out, we'll post the letter because it's very funny. And then check out the guest book. It'll be on Hulu. And he's one of the folks. He's one of us folks.
Nice.
Yeah,
so cool. Let's go watch it. All right, this week we kind of teased that we were talking about time. But we're not doing time.
Well, kind of
time.
We're talking about calendars.
I mean, talk about just a school. If this was a school, imagine being a student and they go, hello, everybody. We are going to talk about calendars today. And you're like, oh, my God. Are we kidding me? Just Zoom. Do you mind if I take my Zoom camera off?
Yeah. This I have a lot of faith in the topic. I really do. But this sounds like a comment that someone would leave. Like, what are you guys going to talk about next? Calendars?
We're like, yeah, actually, that's a good idea.
That's a good one,
we might do 2 parts of it.
I got a lot here, folks. But do you know how we come up with the year 365 days, like that length of time?
No, of course not. I've never. Do you know?
Well, that's how long it takes the Earth to rotate around the sun, right?
Yes.
That's an easy answer.
One trip around the sun.
That was a pretty simple answer right there. I don't know when they teach you that.
I mean, I thought that.
You just thought everyone knew it?
Yeah.
You think you know?
That's fair.
Yeah. Did you know it?
Yeah.
Everybody knew it.
I'm going to...
Holly?
Do you know how long a day is? How long a day is?
24 hours?
Yeah, but why is it at 24 hours?
Because the moon. What do you want me to say? Is it the moon?
It's a rotation of the Earth.
We go around the moon. Moon flies around. I look at the moon every night, dude. Don't talk to me like I don't know the moon. I know the moon when I see a moon. Yeah. Last night I looked at the moon.
It was huge last night.
It was huge last night.
So the moon,
some of it was missing somehow.
Yeah. So for a day, that's the Earth spinning on its axis.
Yep.
One time around, the Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour. Right now, we're traveling 1,000 miles an hour.
Feels like it. Feels like
it. I'll double down one more. Do you know how we come up with months? This is the toughest one.
I wish I knew this one. That'd be great. Like,
is it cycles of the moon?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. One cycle of the moon's 29 and a half days. The word month came from the word moon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't know everything, do we?
Well, I got it right.
Notre Dame doesn't. Well, y'all good at guessing. Notre Dame. I didn't go to college, dude. I'm not smart at this kind of stuff, but I can talk my way into a lot of the more stuff.
So ancient calendars used to be lunar calendars. They go off the moon. And so the moon goes through a full cycle about every 29 and a half days. But it would start to mess things up because the sun and the moon don't cooperate with each other.
Have you heard Rory Scovel's got a great joke about that?
What?
With his son, you ever go outside and you see the moon? When you see the moon during the day, and the son's like, what are you doing? And he's like, what? I'm not. He goes, I thought I wanted to come out. It's like, everybody can. And the moon's like, all right, I'll go back. Said, don't go back now. Everybody's already seen you. Might as well stay out here. Why are you out here? So he's out the moon came out too early.
That's funny. So the Romans had the first calendar kind of like ours, but theirs was only 10 months long. They didn't have January, February. New Year started March 1st.
Which have been the coldest months. I don't think we should have them either.
Well, that's their reasoning. They just called it a dead period. We don't need it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They lived through it.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't call it anything. They weren't doing anything. It was just a dead period.
So that's so funny.
Yeah, so they're just like, there's no, what if you have to do something during this time?
Well, there wasn't much doing that back then.
So, but if you go, well, we got to go, you want to meet, and you go, we'll need to meet in the dead period, and you go, well, how do we know when to do that?
That's a good question.
And then they go, well, just count it, because people probably had dead period calendars.
Yeah, secret.
Their own secret. That's why, like, October, the word octo is 8, like octopus has 8 legs, but the October is the 10th month. The reason is, before this, it used to be the 8th month.
Oh,
because there was no January, February.
Because they were being ridiculous.
Yes, it's going to get a lot worse.
I mean, that's ridiculous to go, we just have a dead period, and you go, well, we're just not going to acknowledge it.
Let's just all tap out for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll see y'all in March.
Who just came up with this? Me? That's what I would have came up with back then. Like, well, we just don't do it. That's the easiest thing.
So it wasn't working for a lot of reasons we just named. So in 45 BC, Julius Caesar said, we got to do a better calendar, guys. Come on. So
that's like if a president ran on right now running on daylight savings time. Like that's like Julius Caesar. Like a president should run on that to go like, I'm going to just change
guys,
it.
come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And that's what Julius Caesar did. He's like, all right, this calendar is ridiculous. He goes, look, I'm here. You're here. Who we kidding ourselves? Who we kidding ourselves? You're doing something during that time, right?
We're not in hibernation.
We're not bears that we wake up and come out. I went grocery shopping during the dead period, and I went on a day that it was sunny, and then I slept when it wasn't, and then woke back up when it was sunny.
So Julius Caesar's astronomer. This is amazing they could figure this out that far back.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out now.
I know.
Even with all the information.
I couldn't either. But their astronomers figured out that the Earth goes around the sun 365 days. So they made a 365-day calendar just like we have. Starts January 1st. Has a leap year every 4 years. Do you guys know how we come up with leap year?
Just because something's off.
Yeah. So
I don't think there's like just because it was like.
I need to just stop asking. Just start telling.
I love it.
It's gonna go all day.
that is right. Something's a little bit off.
Something's a little bit off, and then they go.
They messed up though. They said a day was 365 days and 6 hours. But a day is actually 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 46 seconds.
That's who's they? My brother just said something this week, and he's like, they are the smartest people I've I've never met. It's always, well, they are they are the dumbest people. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Or who's they? You're like, well, they know who they are. They somebody, and they are a problem.
In this case, it was the guys Julius Caesar hired to do it. So it was off a little bit.
How do you hire calendar people? Like, is there a calendar company that you just call and
it's astronomers?
Oh, yeah, but they get work. I think astronomer. I thought astronomer was a thing in your car that tell you how fast you're going.
What's the astronomer show?
Yeah, that's I got an astronomer. That's what he brought. He brought an astronomer. He goes, all right, tell me how fast you go. He's like, I don't do that. You're like, well, what do you do then? He's like, I do like star stuff. And you go, all right. Well, I'd like to do a calendar too. So might as well have you do that. I was bringing you in for something else completely. But yeah, sure. Let's mess with the calendar. This dead period is ridiculous.
So he was slightly off by 12 minutes which over time started causing a problem because he put in a leap year every 4 years. I learned this. A leap year is not actually every 4 years. Occasionally, we have to skip it.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually a mathematical equation to determine what a leap year is. Leap years fall, they got to be divisible by 4, unless the year is also divisible by 100. And if the year is divisible by 400, you keep it. Nate?
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
The last time.
Well, I liked that the first he was off too. It's like, well, we're going to be off about 12 minutes. 12 minutes is not that bad. You go, not now. It's not that bad. I agree.
Yeah,
but I mean, in 1,000 years, it's
going to add up.
It is going to be a problem.
That's exactly what happened. I think I just lost mine.
Yeah. You're back.
Okay. I can't hear myself, but that's okay. So over time, it became a problem. So by the year 1582, when Pope Gregory was running the Catholic Church, we were off by 10 days. So the seasons.
Pope Greg. Isn't Pope's names usually a little more popey?
Gregory is.
Yeah.
That's popey for sure.
Pope Greg?
I don't think he went by Greg. I think he went by
the Gregster.
His Holiness, probably.
I think if you named him Greg growing up, you were like, well, he's never going to be a pope. So might as well name him Greg.
So you change your name when you become pope.
Huh? You do?
When you become pope, you take on a papal name.
He took on Gregory?
Yeah. I don't know if that's how they were doing it back then, but like...
I would love to know his regular name.
Yeah.
What if it was better?
Yeah. Like Pope Benedict was the last pope. His name was Joseph.
I mean, both of those are better than Gregory.
Yeah.
Benny?
You think Gregory sounds like a good pope name?
It sounds... I think so. I think it sounds regal, kind of...
It feels like... I feel like you would see him out a lot. Like, that's what it sounds like. That's Pope Gregory over there.
That's just Greg.
Yeah. What's he doing? He's throwing darts. Pope Gregory's out there playing darts every night. That's what I think. I think Pope Gregory would be a problem. Like, it's like, golly, dude, he's out. Where were you at last night? He shows up. Sun's coming up. Greg? What are you doing? People just call him Greg. And he goes, I'm Pope. Pope Gregory.
Pope Greg. That's so funny. I've never heard that.
So
shortening it.
By 1582, Easter wasn't even falling when it's supposed to. So Pope Gregory's like, we got to fix this. So his guy figured out this new equation.
Does he drink coffee because he had a wild night? What is it? Easter's in November? That doesn't make sense. Something's off. What's off? He's like, well, it's 2 PM, Pope Gregory, and this is the first we've got a hold of you. Where'd you go last night, buddy? He just went out.
Yeah.
It's an Applebee's down the street. That's where I think you would see Pope Gregory.
Yeah.
Just at
leaves the Vatican, goes to like downtown Rome.
Oh, leaves the Vatican.
Yeah. Goes to the Hard Rock Cafe in Rome.
Yeah.
Just hangs out there.
Yeah. They got a Bruce Willis poster in there. I don't know. All right.
Well, anyway, Pope Gregory's guy figured out we don't need a leap year every time.
Yeah.
So last time it was skipped was the year 1900. The next time it's going to be skipped is the year 2100. And that keeps us back on pattern so we don't get ahead of ourselves. But we're still off by 26 seconds, even now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're losing time here. By the year 4909, the Gregorian calendar will be a full day ahead that it's supposed to be.
Ooh.
And I mean, there's a point. Does it even matter?
That's what I'm wondering. Why was there so much concern about keeping it as accurate as
because you don't want Christmas in July?
Yeah, the seasons and Easter. And
we're saying another 2,700 years.
Well, we're not worried about
900 years.
We're only off by 26 seconds now, so we got plenty of time.
That's because we took all of these other steps.
Yeah,
we'd be off, way off.
Yes,
if we hadn't done this. Okay.
Yes,
Pope Gregory, be warm right now.
Yeah, it would.
Right now, we'd be dead of summer right now because these buffoons. That's what we would say.
Yeah.
All right. So then the Gregorian calendar became the new thing, but some Protestants view the Gregorian calendar as a Catholic plot. I'm one of those, by the way. If Aaron calls me and says the show Sunday, I always double check just to make sure because Gregorian calendar. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't follow along any of that.
Well.
A Catholic plot?
So countries that weren't Catholic were like, we're not doing this. We're not going to fall for this Catholic nonsense. So countries held out. England held out until 1752. And then when they finally changed over, the citizens got mad because the calendar went from September 2nd to September 14th. and rioters said, "Give us back our 11 days."
They just took 11 days from them. So
Yeah.
it was like September 2nd, and they go, by the way, everybody, imagine that.
Yeah.
Daylight savings. Hey, everybody, remember to turn your clock back or forward. They tell everybody that on the news. Can you imagine on the news? Hey, guys, quick heads up. Remember that thing you got to do September 14th? Well, it's tomorrow. And move your calendar up 11 days.
Wow.
11 days.
11 days.
I mean, that's a big leap.
How did it, there weren't Protestants for another 1,500 years though when this calendar came out, right?
No, they're Protestants.
No.
When was Martin Luther doing his thing?
1,500.
Is this what college
That's
was
when this
like?
is.
Just stuff like this? Y'all just
But
say.
Pope Gregory was
this like a college debate right
This
here?
is 1582 when Pope Gregory did this.
Oh, am I looking at the wrong Gregory?
Oh.
This is Pope Gregory the 8th.
Oh, I'm looking at Pope Gregory the 7th.
Oh gosh, we got an amateur over here.
There's a bunch of them.
I know, yeah. We should call him Greg. Just to
7, he didn't do
differentiate.
anything.
Okay,
Gregory.
yeah. We're looking at Pope Gregory the 8th.
Ah,
How many
boy.
Pope Gregories were there?
I mean, 8 at least.
That's a popular name.
Okay.
I feel like I'm sitting in the wrong college class. That's what I would go. What is this class called again? You're like, oh, we debate nonsense. Oh,
It took some countries so long to switch over that in 1908 the Russians missed the first 12 days of the Olympics because they were still using the old calendar.
didn't set their alarm clock. Didn't imagine, but their calendar clock. They go, nah, we're fine. You sure? Because if something feels off, and he goes, no, we'll be there. We will be there. Imagine them showing up to that,
Yeah.
the Olympics, 12 days off.
Yeah.
How long is the Olympics?
Back then, I think it went for months.
Okay.
It's a ridiculous. I mean, well, because you had to travel by boat and stuff. Like, I mean, it was just
I think they just combined it all into one.
the fact that they even kept trying to do it. It was like it just never ended. No one could
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, how you like? Are we even doing the Olympics?
Yeah.
You get a newspaper. Who won? Ah, the Americans won. When was the race? 6 years ago. Just got the newspaper.
Just found out.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about joining the Olympics. Well, you should have already started going there when you were 8. You should have started traveling to the Olympic site 4 years before you start training for the Olympics.
Just start walking there.
If someone walks in and goes, I think I want to be at the Olympics, well, go get a boat ticket right now. Start heading because you're not going to make it.
Boat ticket.
Go get a boat ticket and you're going to probably be late. And who knows when it's going to start because we got about 15 calendars going on throughout the world.
But could you imagine training for 4 years and you show up and they're like, it was last Tuesday. Why? What happened? Oh, wrong calendar. I mean, that's crazy.
I mean,
How many calendars? Yeah.
thankfully it was Russia, right?
Yeah, it was Russia.
And not a good place. Just
Like a lot of people in Russia listen to this
I don't-
podcast.
dude.
I mean,
Huh?
they got to do some of the
I
Olympics.
think we're on Russia's regular TV channels. From what I understand, we are on the we are on the CBS of Russia.
We're Russia's
From
Tonight
what
Show.
From what I get, the information I get handed to me, we are in syndication in Russian television.
My bad. Russia's awesome, man. Nothing bad ever happens.
That's fair. That's fair. Some churches, Orthodox churches, still don't use today's calendar. Orthodox churches, like if you're Latvian Orthodox, if you convert, Nate, to Latvian Orthodox,
Yeah, I will.
your Christmas, that's a George Costanza.
Huh?
Remember
When he
when George converts?
Oh yeah.
Christmas
Couple little.
Christmas Day is January 7th. So the Orthodox churches are celebrating Christmas this week.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
That sounded sincere.
Well, it is Merry Christmas to them. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to go. They're school starts back up. Are they
Yeah.
not in the regular schools?
They are. I guess they just, I don't know what they do, but that's a good question. It's an excellent
Yeah.
question. I don't know. Maybe they take their kids out of school. They still really
They might not believe in school.
in Russia?
Are we
no,
talking about Russia?
I'm talking about Orthodox churches,
Yeah. well,
even
that's-
here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Orthodox in Russia.
yeah. There's a lot of different types of Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, things like that. But they celebrate some of the holidays different. China has their own calendar, China calendar. They go by animals, so they don't go by years. So this is the year of the ox.
Oh, it's a fun year.
Yeah.
The year of the ox. So they just say, so they don't. So it's not 2021.
They go by our calendar, the Gregorian calendar.
Do they write
for
ox
most
on all their
stuff.
checks? Do they write 1225 ox? Is that what they? And then they go 1-4 snake. Oh, gosh.
That was last year.
Give me another check. What is it, ox?
Do you write it or draw it?
Do I got to draw it? Man, that could be a big problem. The calendar. Dadgummit.
Still writing snakes on all my checks.
God. What was last year?
Yeah.
Do you know what last year
I don't.
was?
I thought you said snake.
I made that up.
I don't know what 2020
Rabbit.
Mhm. It was a rat.
A rat. The year of the rat.
Oh, that says 2010 though, right? Oh, that is 2020.
2020.
You're right. You're right.
The year of the rat.
So they're still putting rat on all their checks right now.
A lot of people still are. Year of the rat. It's a good year.
Oh,
In the year of the ox.
it's actually still the year of the rat until February 11th.
Oh.
Yeah, their New Year's February 12th. So,
It'll be a metal rat year.
well, that says okay. Year of the ox will follow. Oh yeah, 2021, a year of the ox.
So how many? So they have what's that? So they just keep going around.
They have 12 animals that they
Just
cycle
keep-
through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they keep yeah. So it's not like they have to.
that
what
kind
is
of looks
it?
like
It's
that
the year of
graph
the
we looked at
horse.
last week.
Dragon, rabbit, tiger, ox, pig, dog, rooster, monkey, goat. Snake. There is a year of the snake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
2025.
2025.
It's going to be the year of the snake.
so it's more ceremonial than everyday use.
Yeah.
They don't write that on their check. It's very funny to think about that.
Oh, that would be so wonderful. January 5th, rooster.
What's today's animal? That's
Yeah.
25 ox.
Today's penguin. Okay, so October 11th, penguin. Ah, it melted off.
Oh, man.
In Afghanistan and Iran, it's currently the year 1399.
Mm.
Oh, because they're just like we're doing our own thing.
Yeah, so our calendar started, current one started with the birth of Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and theirs started with Prophet Muhammad made his journey from Mecca to Medina in the year 622.
Man, 1390. Like, so if you go, like, that's crazy. It's just 13. What is it? 1399.
Yeah,
So next year is 1400 for them.
Yep.
It's a big year.
So the 1400s, dude.
I mean, that's a big
They're
even
just
one.
getting out of the Middle Ages.
I bet they're
over
doing all the like what we did in 1999,
They're going to
2000.
just discover America pretty soon.
Well, what was we were all scared of 1999, 2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The millennium.
They got
Right.
600 years to get ready for the Y2K.
Oh man, we should give them a heads up that it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and start 2000. Yeah, 1399. They're not even on. It's funny that you would think that at least they'd be at the same number of us, like 99. They're in like they're gonna be 1400 next year, and we're
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there is.
so like
for them.
legal documents, like that's the legal year?
I think
Or-
so. I think so.
Interesting.
I think they really go by it. I don't know how many legal documents they have, but in Ethiopia, it's the year.
That's why you don't date any of them because they're so old. I feel because they're old because they're. I mean, what do you
Date of birth.
You got to meet. You go introduce them to your parents. When were you born? 1384. Oh God. She's like, oh my God, you look unbelievable.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
you look great.
You look great. Wow.
Uh,
That just means someone right now. Just, I mean, can you drink here yet? I don't know. Were you born in 1360? If you're not born before 1360, you're like, I mean, my daughter can drink over there. Like, they're like, or maybe she can't. No, she's from the future.
Yeah.
Over there.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
She knows some stuff. In Ethiopia right now, it's the year 2013 because they calculated their calendar differently when Christ was born. They have him being born in the year 7 BC by our calendar center. So they're 8 years
Now,
behind us.
he was actually born in like 4 BC, right?
Yes.
Now, did that come from was that a miscalculation as well, or was it?
That was. So that came from a monk. The 6th century monk said, hey, we should start the calendar on when Jesus was born. And he did some.
One guy said that. And then
He's the one that came up with it. I think so, yeah.
one guy.
Just one dude.
Well, I mean, everybody's affected by it. And just one guy just walks in.
A 6th century monk.
Hey, I was out with Pope Gregory last night, and he said I could say this. He goes, and Pope Gregory's like, tell him. I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, I will say it.
A 6th century monk known as Dennis the Small.
Dennis. Dennis is a very funny comedy name. I've always loved the name Dennis.
Yeah.
He came up with the AD system, but he miscalculated Christ's birth. So what he said was the year 1 AD. Probably Christ was born between 6 to 4 BC. So he was a little off. And they left out 0. There is no 0. It goes from 1 BC to 1 AD. So that's why Newman's Newmanian party was off.
It was off.
Yeah, because there's no year 0.
Yeah, because they didn't. Why didn't they do 0?
I think
no one wanted to say 0 that whole year.
I don't think they just. It wasn't in their number system. The concept of nothing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So they wrote calendars. Were they going 111?
I don't know how many checks they were writing back then, but
They had to write a date. They didn't write a date. They wouldn't write a date on anything.
I don't know if people were even writing. I guess.
Were they right? Yeah. Were you paying for stuff?
You were trading.
Like, oh, it was all barter.
I think they had money back. They had gold coins and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if they had dates on them.
And you don't put like when there wasn't a contract.
Yeah, there probably was.
Yeah, there were
something would you have
contracts,
to put a
yeah.
date on the contract.
Yeah,
They
that's
write
true.
111, 121,
Yeah,
12, 21. You know,
Yeah.
you don't think that was 222, and they got all real excited? Oh, that's won't happen again ever.
Well, when was this? When did they decide to start counting? This is like 500 years.
yeah.
after?
The year 525.
Okay. So who knows what they were doing at the actual time? 1 AD.
I mean, -1.
Negative.
I would say then they weren't. Were they doing calendars then? Like, I mean, you go from 1 AD to 1 BC. You know, the system's running about the same.
Yeah.
It's not like there's cars the next year.
Yeah.
So a guy that's 20 years old at 1 AD is 21 at 1 BC. What's he doing? You know?
That's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's what I would love to talk to. About maybe a 34-year-old. I'd like to talk to someone that was 33 than 34.
Oh, yeah, when it switched from
Yeah.
BC to AD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need too much, him going some tiring about how he's probably mad the calendar changed. You get
Yeah.
too old. You get a guy that's 60. He's like, this is ridiculous that we're even doing this.
Yeah.
He can't even think back. Too young doesn't care. Needs about a maybe 40-year-old
Yeah.
that goes, what's your opinion on it? He's like, well, I'll tell you.
You just want somebody like you, your
So,
age.
yeah.
Just there. Yeah.
My age, it goes,
You
yeah.
just want to talk to the you of
Yeah.
that time,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I tried to figure out what they were calling the years before this monk came up with this, because this was the year 525. He said basically, let's start doing this system. So I don't know what year it was before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe they weren't making big calendar announcements.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a big deal. The newspaper came out and it's like, today's this day. Today's
But
hot.
they were just like many moons ago. That's
Yeah.
all they'd say.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. When were you born? 100 suns ago. And you're like, all right. What? How old is he? 16 moons old. And you're like, oh, wow, he's a little baby. 52 moons.
Yeah.
So maybe they would do it by moons.
It's weird to think about. There might just not have been a reason to keep track of time that precisely up until then.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to get a letter
Yeah.
sent. You don't want to know how long it takes. If you have time, then you're going to know. God, that is slow.
So it's the post office is like,
Yeah.
listen, we don't need to keep track of
We don't
it,
even
how
need to
long
worry
this
about it.
lasts.
When did it get here? It felt like it got here pretty quick. I felt like I didn't send it that long ago. And they go, you know what? It is quick.
In
if
the
you
grand
don't-
scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, if you don't know, if there's not a number being thrown at you that goes, that's just taking a long time,
Yeah.
you don't know. I sent you that letter and you're like, it got here fast. And then once you start throwing time in, we started getting like, speed some stuff up.
Yeah.
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 That makes sense. The Mayans had a calendar that went from the year 3114 BC to December 21st, 2012. And that's as far as it went. So many people thought the world was going to end. I shouldn't say many. Some people thought the world was going to end in 2012.
I did. And I'm a big fan of the Mayans, though. I love what they do. I remember the Mayans calendar. Like everybody, I remember people talking about the Mayans calendar.
Yeah.
But they just, got tired.
Yeah.
2012, they go, you get it. They should have wrote, etc.
Yep.
That's what they should have wrote. 2012, etc. I can't keep.
Did they just stop? Were they like, listen, we're enough in advance. We don't need to do another year. Is that?
Yeah. Can you imagine if you started 34 BC, then you got to write, you would eventually go, all right.
My
Listen,
hand's killing
We're
me.
not even going to be,
Oh, man.
your hand, you're probably just
yeah.
having to
Oh,
chip it away.
Chisel's killing me.
You know how many times I've hit my thumb? Year 100 to 200 was brutal. We're running out of rocks.
yeah.
And they should have just said, they know it keeps going. By the time we get to 2012, they're going to be like, they're probably going to have.
Somebody else will have kept going,
Yeah.
and nobody stepped up.
No one stepped up. Yeah.
Yep. So now people are trying to change BC and AD. You guys don't know BC and AD, but people don't like it. It's based on Jesus' life, so they're trying to change it now. They want to call BC BCE, before Common Era, and AD change it to CE, Common Era.
I've seen that before. I guess some
Common
people are doing
Era?
that.
What does that mean?
Just means the era that we're in now. Like BCE, they call that like post or pre-modern times, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, we didn't make up the BC. They made up the BC, right?
Well,
Catholic monks.
Catholic, yeah.
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 But now, like modern day
But if their time
historians,
caught on, then they should just be like, then we just call it that. They won.
and it's been doing pretty good for 2,000 years. But
So why would you all of a sudden be like, well, we don't want it? You're like, well, because they won.
well, this one scientist
How
came
much
up.
BC talk is even going on in your people's lives that they're so upset about? And then they just go before Common. Like, if you're going to change it. Don't just write off BC. Be like, change it, like, to complete,
All right,
Yeah.
I got one right here.
Yeah.
This scientist and historians come up with the Human Era calendar, and it begins 12,000 years ago. So this would be the year 12,021. He had 10,000 years to the current calendar because he says all of humanity is basically been during the last 12,000 years. So he wants this to start from when hunter-gatherer lifestyle went to fixed settlements.
That guy could be solving cancer, and he's being a nightmare. We should be 12,021. So that's what we're going to do, man? We're going to go change all the counters and we got to tweet everybody out to say, hey, everybody, start writing 12,021 on your checks. Do you know how gigantic numbers that is? I'm glad that I'm the time that I'm at. I don't want to be in that 10,000, 11,000. What do you got to write then? You the line, the date line is going to have to become gigantic.
Yeah.
I was born in 21. When? 10,021. Oh, God. Imagine talking to those people. If you were born in 9,085 and you got to talk to... I was born in 10,021. Oh, God. Here we go.
Have you ever written a check?
I have before, yeah. Rent
you know how to
checks
do
and
it?
stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never... At a store, I've never written a check or anything. So I'm guessing you still write them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's still...
I mean, I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I still have a checkbook. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
That's all he'll say. Don't don't ask any more questions. Because he's not going to talk about all that
If you hold a
stuff.
gun to my head.
Yeah. He holds a gun to my head. Who's holding these guns to these people's heads? Did I talk about that joke? That's the joke I always would try to do on stage.
I've heard you do that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried it like once or twice. Have I talked about it on this?
I don't think you have.
The idea of just the saying, if you have a gun to your head, you think you can do this? Like, who's holding these guns to these people's heads for no reason?
Yeah.
It was always like, can you name the starting lineup for the
Kansas City Royals?
Kansas City Royals with a gun to my head? You're like, who? What kind of friend do you have that's got a gun to your head going, name the shortstop of the 1989 Kansas City Royals? Name them. And you're like, who's that into sports? Maybe we'll try it again. Bring it back. Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
Try it tonight.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
A Frank Costanza type guy came up with his own calendar. The International Fixed Calendar has 13 months. There's some random days just thrown in there, not attached to
No
any-
Mondays because no one likes Mondays.
Right. And Easter always falls the same day. Christmas would always be on a Wednesday. So George Eastman of the Kodak Company, or the Eastman Kodak, he's the only guy that really...
I've never heard of that. What is it?
Eastman Kodak?
No.
You've heard of the Kodak Photography Company, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
George Eastman, the guy who ran the company, he made them use
His
this.
name got left off of that Kodak.
Eastman, yeah.
Yeah.
No one knows. Does anybody know about Eastman and
I
Kodak?
thought it used to be called Eastman Kodak. Is it not?
That's no.
I've only ever known it as Kodak.
Okay.
Eastman got the raw deal.
He got
That's
pushed
what's
out.
those.
Well, maybe-
what's those old airlines that they used to. There's some old airlines. My wife's dad would always mention some airline, and he like it's like Southeast Airs.
Mhm.
It's something that you're like I've never, and he's like I flew it all the time. Like it was like a main airline.
And it just
Is
went
it-
away.
Yeah, it just goes away. I mean, what was the golly? There was one Continental.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I've heard of it.
I've
Yeah.
heard of
Yeah,
it, yeah.
Continental. I used to fly Continental, and they switched to United, and then they're all gone.
Oh, United is Continental?
Yeah, yeah, they combined them, and now
Oh, they
it's just
combined them.
United.
It didn't just
But
change
I was
names.
like, Continental was the first airline that I actually had some status on because I was starting to fly a lot, and I
Yeah.
would fly them a lot. And then United was joining, and then they're joining them, and then they kind of wean you off of them, and then it's just all United.
Well, my bank is changing names. SunTrust is changing to like Truist or something.
Yeah,
And they keeps like sliding it in.
Yeah.
It's a very slow rollout. First, I just noticed it. Like, what is that written on the bottom of the website?
yeah.
And then it's getting bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
And they're trying to implement. I
That
think.
was Union Planners.
Yeah, I remember Union Planners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's old school.
yeah, yeah.
But I think the Brave Stadium's going to have to change names to Truist Park.
Truist Park.
I think it's Truist, something like that. But the reason Eastman probably didn't get mentioned is because he tried this dumb calendar idea. He was the only one doing it.
That's why. That's the great to finish it. What it is
From 1928 to 1989, he used this international fixed calendar at his company. And he was like the only one that kept doing it. Nobody else would try it. He even opened an office for headquarters for the International Fixed Calendar League, but it just never took off.
Cause of death: suicide by gunshot. Yeah. Well, don't start a calendar.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what it says on Wikipedia. Got ridiculed. I mean, the code. I mean, look. I'm sorry that he died that way. But he
This is-
looked like he had. Let me know. Two friends work. My work is done while I wait. Oh, in his final 2 years, he was in intense pain caused by a disorder affecting his spine. So he was in a ton of pain. That's why he did it. But why he would not be listed with the Kodak, you've never heard of that, is because that shows you if you got something going that's good, as they did, Eastman and Kodak,
Mhm.
they got a good thing going, and he goes, I kind of want to do this calendar. That's like someone that gets too rich,
Yeah.
that they go, and too much power.
Yeah.
I have no idea, by the way, if any of this is true, but this is just what I'm imagining. So if you're listening to this and you're part of the Eastman family, you might be like, that's not true at all. And you could be right. And I bet the Kodak family loves hearing it, to be honest. But that shows you right there that hurts you. Like that, I would imagine that someone that gets so much power
Yeah.
that they get so crazy, they go, you know what, I'm gonna start my own calendar. And then Kodak's like, you can't. That's gonna just do the camera stuff, dude. That's what we're doing. That's what we're really good at. You're not good at a calendar thing. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're smart, And then he goes, tries to do a new calendar, and look, names off of it. I've never bought Eastman and Kodak film.
Yeah.
Never.
This
Never
is like,
seen it.
This was like his Festivus. And
Yeah.
he thought it was going to take off, and
Yeah.
it didn't.
Couldn't keep it quiet. Try to make them start using it.
Yeah,
at
all
the
his employees.
factory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like force the company to use it.
It's like
and-
one thing if you're doing it on your own, like, hey, I made this new calendar, and
Yeah.
you're like, but you start making everybody doing something like that,
Yeah.
and now your name's off. No
Then
one knows
he's
who you are.
Going to the doctor for that spinal injury. He's filling out all the paperwork, and he's like, "It's
Oh,
you know,
yeah. You need you to come back in 2 weeks. Oh, sorry. And I need you to come back in 7 Wednesdays from now. He just uses Wednesday.
His calendar says that there's no longer
That's
a July 4th. Independence Day will now be Soul 16. Soul is a month that he created. This is a 13th
soul.
month calendar.
I mean, come on, man. That's what you can't tell me that plays into why his name is not on. He's like a guy that came so rich
Right.
and famous. Or I don't know if they were famous, but they were. You just got a lot of money back then too. He was born, 1917, like all that stuff. So this dude's got he's just gigantic wealth, and he
was the equivalent of a billionaire now, but he was worth $85 million when he died in 1930.
Yeah.
And then his name's off. Just use Kodak Films. I mean,
I bet Kodak is like, listen. He did. I mean, he was important, but he was a nightmare.
Nightmare.
He always had these big ideas.
Oh God!
Let's do a 13-month calendar.
You don't even know. You don't even know what I had to deal with.
Yeah.
It's.
But don't you think some of these brilliant?
You always wonder why our shipping was off. Yeah. You ever? Why don't you use Kodak? I don't know. This stuff takes forever to get to you. Oh, let me tell you why.
Because it's dated Soul 92.
Yeah, and no one knows what that is. Because we're off on Soul Month, and that's when you asked for it. But that's the month we have to be off. We're closed.
The Soviet Union tried that, their own calendar, where you each get a day, like your day is Blue Day, and your day is Green Day, stuff like that. And it just didn't work. Like, people were working different hours, and there's been a lot of crazy
like
calendars.
Your day is Blue Day?
Like, they would assign families. They thought it would pick up productivity. They did a 5-day week.
Yeah.
And they're like, your day's blue, so those are the days you work. And then your day's green.
So you just looked at the calendar, and if it was blue,
you got to go to work.
That's like, hit, nail, wall. Like, that's just like caveman's. And then your day, when you see the color yellow, eat your food.
They didn't want people celebrating, like, it was partially to get rid of Christianity because they didn't want people taking a day off on the weekend to worship.
Yeah.
I mean, just come up with a better. I know that's what, but we try to keep getting off the system, and then it's like it all kind of comes back to
it does.
Well, we got a pretty good thing going.
Some guy came up with an invention called the positivist calendar. Every month's 28 days. There's a standalone day at the end of the year for the dead, to honor the dead, and every leap year they have an extra day dedicated to women. Women's Day. Each day will be named after a historic person. It didn't take off either.
Yeah.
So you have Women's Day, and then every one day of every month is a day for the dead?
No, it's a standalone monthless day at the end of every year. So one day a year, it's dedicated to the
dead. That's like, are people working that day, or do you have to do stuff that day? Like that's the. I think these people, when they make these new calendars, they don't go in. So what do you do on that day? It's like, well, we all stay at home and you stare at the ground or something. Like I don't. It's like they don't think. All right, but everybody's got to live a regular life. Like they don't introduce holidays.
Right.
Holidays is the idea that these people think of.
You know what's interesting is there's a lot of these older kind of revisions. It's like they don't care about cooperating with the rest of the world, right? It's like clearly we need to all be working on the same. We need to all agree on what day and time it is, to do any kind of international commerce. Yeah. But I guess if this is, if the 500s or whatever, you don't have to worry about that at all.
See, it's the Catholic over here won't stick with the Gregory calendar.
Can you imagine? I mean, in Afghanistan, they invented phones in 1384.
They're killing it.
I mean, they're doing a little bit better than us. And in the grand scheme of things, when people look back on it, we are going to look like just zoo animals compared to these other countries that are like. So in 1200, they had the same technology as they did in 2000. How stupid were they? So they might actually be onto something unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You're
like so smart now, are you?
This George Eastman idea. I mean, Christmas was a different day.
Every time it'd just be the Wednesday.
Yeah, it was on a Wednesday, so you couldn't celebrate with the rest of if you worked there.
How do you even present something like this? Yeah. Like, where do you go? Where do you go?
He's got to. He probably runs it by his wife first, right?
I mean, you throw the idea out,
and
then you start doing it. Then I guess you can start with your company. But I mean, how do you get it? If I want to start a new calendar right now?
Yeah,
Bargatze.
I mean, this
calendar.
is how it starts. Yeah. We want to do just our own calendar.
Yep.
I don't know what
the Nathan.
I mean, I'm kind of good with everything that's
Yeah.
going on right now.
You know what I would change?
What?
A new day starts at midnight, and I always thought it should start like around sunrise. So I would change the new day start
5 a.m.
Yeah,
kinda?
something like that.
But sunrise is different.
I know it
times.
varies, but I don't know. It's just always been weird to me. The middle of the night, it changes to a new day.
Because it still feels like the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're out, I was out partying last night till 3 a.m. You don't say, you just kind of count it as that previous
Like
day.
it's so like 1 a.m. would be like, well, it's technically tomorrow, so you want to get rid of
Yeah.
like technically tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think you got to pick a time.
Well, I
Yeah,
would say
you
5
you
a.m.,
Just pick it at a
5
different
a.m.
time.
6 a.m., something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. 6 a.m.'s too.
I could get on board with that. That wouldn't change much.
Maybe we should just start doing it.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
don't
we'll
know.
start one.
I don't know.
You're
don't-
not on board with this?
What
I
would
could
you
see like
change?
2 a.m., 3. I don't know. Midnight. It starts over the next. It's technically part of the next morning.
That's what we're saying. We're saying,
Yeah.
but it's just.
But it's like when you wake up, doesn't it be like, well, now you start on the first part of the
Look,
day.
Yeah, well, that started when people were going to bed at like 5 p.m. because you had to
Right.
do everything by candlelight. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, we're basically nocturnal animals now. You know, you were
Yeah.
just talking about your daughter stays up till 2 or 3 in the morning.
She did once. She doesn't
Okay.
normally. Don't. Yeah. Seems like lunatic parents that are like, we let her go to bed when she tells us to go to bed. She tells us to go to bed,
Yeah.
and then we go to bed, and she stays up.
She gives us a bedtime.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah.
They're.
What would you change?
I don't know. I think I would.
You
say,
like it?
I would say I like everything. I would say I would like to change it. They go, great. I go, what do you want to do? I go, I think it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
And let's keep it the same. And then people would cheer. I would change daylight savings.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Yep.
done.
Keep it.
I would just do that.
You get rid of it?
Yeah, get rid of it.
Mm.
I would
No,
look
keep
into-
it.
Oh, yeah. Whatever you do to
Yeah.
make it the
Oh.
better one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about it.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what I was in the press conferences. So you want to keep it or say, I go, I don't, whatever makes it not a problem.
Yeah.
We're do that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It doesn't, no one ever knows what's going on anyway.
Yeah.
But that's the way we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what else you would change.
Go ahead.
I'd make the season start on the first days of months. Stop worrying about the summer solstice and all
Yeah.
that. So winter starts January 1st, or
I-
maybe December.
Y'all
December
got a lot of
1st.
problems with these calendars. Y'all are real
Well,
upset
I
about
I would be like to be able to know when stuff is.
It's March
without looking it
21st,
up.
right?
hmm
Is the first day of spring.
Is it always the March 21st?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, all right.
But if you want it
That's
March
fair.
1st,
Yeah,
so
I'd
you're-
like it maybe April 1st,
So you can wrap that around your big
so we know that this.
dumb head because you can't.
I'd like to know this whole month is this season,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Instead of going, okay,
When's fall?
It's,
September 21st,
yep.
I think, is when it starts.
All right. But you'd rather be
I
March.
thought it was all just. I thought it was
September.
just this year. It was that. I didn't know it doesn't change. All right.
No.
You
Well,
thought this year was what? You thought it changed every time?
yeah, I thought it was just whenever I didn't know the solstice
Feels
changed.
like summer now. That's what people say, and then they just go to summer.
I mean, we kind of do. Don't you? Like you don't look at the calendar, say, if you're playing, because summer starts June 21st. If you're playing
Yeah.
golf on June 6th, it's 90 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you
like-
I go,
Summer's
no, it's
here.
springtime.
Yeah.
Well, you feel like you get summer earlier. I feel like you get it earlier than you
here we
always
go
get
with the
it
climate
earlier.
change guy. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's
But you always get it earlier. Like, you're never like, today's the day.
Yeah.
Like in March, sometimes,
Yeah.
I would do Groundhog's Day more serious. I would take it more serious in my calendar. Yeah. That's what I would do.
that would be
You
official
actually
holiday.
extend winter.
I
Yeah.
would, I'd really give it a go and really look at that groundhog, see what he
Yeah.
has to say.
Would we
I'd
get a
love
day
to-
off?
Yeah, because I'd want his opinion on things. So it would be not just a funny holiday.
Yeah.
It'd be something we take serious.
Would you add a week onto February, or would you just
and make instead of it being
no? It's
28.
just, yeah. If it sees
But
a
then it's gonna
shadow,
be-
we're gonna make
oh.
February 2. Or would that
You can't
complicate
be
things?
that's complicated.
All right.
There's
I
reasons.
think you work in the boundaries that you have.
Okay.
I would change Easter to be the same day every year.
Yeah. That would
I
be
could see
nice.
that.
I looked up I didn't even know how Easter fell.
Mhm.
The rule of Easter is the Sunday after the full moon that is next after the March equinox on the Gregorian calendar.
So obviously, that's the place where it makes the most sense to put it.
I feel like at first they said the full moon and they go, okay. And then they tried that and they go, oh, no, it's actually, that's a guy that keeps, no, full moon after. He keeps, the full moon part, you're like, okay, I guess
Yeah.
that's fine. And then it didn't work out once. And then
Uh-huh.
he's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen.
Yeah. I remember one time Easter being like at the end of February or something. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I think I just read that's impossible, didn't I? After the March equinox.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does
maybe
range.
early March.
Late-
I remember it being insanely early.
Yeah, it can range from late March to all the way through April.
Okay.
But you remember in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I don't think I
Maybe
do.
you're Orthodox.
I remember because I
Yeah.
used to come
What
during
year do you think this is?
Well, he celebrates Christmas on December 6th.
5,000.
Yeah.
I go by the Jewish calendar.
Yeah.
5,287.
Yeah.
I just remember it conflicting with we're always playing baseball growing up right around Easter time.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And I remember it always falling like during Holy Week and all that stuff. We'd be playing games. And I remember it came super early one year. I would have bet a lot of money that it was February.
Yeah.
but
I
now
think that was
don't anymore.
Toyotathon again.
Yeah.
I think you're again
You
confusing
guys love
Toyotathon.
Toyota. You
Could it-
guys celebrate that more than you let on, don't you?
We had a Toyota minivan with the
Yeah.
one sliding door.
Yeah.
And this was actually at a baseball game in the parking lot. My older brother, that door just slid right off the car into the parking lot. Yeah. We had to bungee cable it to the car and drive home with this door just
Oh my
hanging
gosh.
out. Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. Is it? Why didn't y'all just leave with it open?
Just leave the car door in the parking lot.
No, like just throw it in the back of the van. I
don't
guess.
think we had
I
room,
guess,
man. We
yeah.
had 6 of us in there. It
Mhm.
was packed in there. And we wanted to put the door back on. So we're like, how do we
Did you
just
get it back
hold-
on?
I think we ended up getting to put
Yeah.
it back on for sure.
You could have been just a pretty awesome van.
It's like a Jeep,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
open air.
Just open air.
Yeah, we
Get
could've
out.
done
Get
that.
out.
You can still do that with your minivan now.
I
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how we came up with a week being 7 days? I don't know why I keep asking
Yeah.
this.
I do.
Okay.
No.
I'd like
Yeah.
to hear us continue to take stabs at it. Though.
All right. Give
Uh,
it a stab.
So why we came?
And I've read 2 to 3 different answers.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have 3 different ideas.
Yeah.
Why we have 7 days in the week?
Yeah, like how do we come up with that?
Just felt right. You know, is it because
Yeah.
the moon
That's one of them.
moon cycles?
Yeah.
Is it biblical at all?
That's what I always heard growing up. God
Yeah.
created the earth in 6 days, rest on the 7th day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I always
That's
thought
what I would have known. Yeah.
Yeah. The moon has 4 main phases. So some people say per month. So some people say that's what a week was based on.
Yeah.
And the other thing I read, the Babylonians, they gave it the number 7 for the weeks because there were 7 objects they could see in the sky. The sun, Sunday, the moon, Monday, then some gods that didn't match up, Mercury,
Yeah.
Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturday, Saturn.
Mm,
Oh.
Interesting.
So those were the 7.
Tuesday was like, well, what's Tuesday? Like, tops of those trees. And they go, oh wow, Tuesday.
Treetop.
Yeah.
Wednesday is wind.
And-
You know?
Wind. It's always windy in there, but you can't see wind, but you know it's there.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give it to you. Wednesday.
Okay.
I remember
Wednesday.
Thursday was Thor. They
Oh, okay.
that's where that
They
came
could
from.
see Thor.
I'm talking about constellations.
No,
Like-
they're Greek gods. They're,
Oh,
or they're
okay.
gods. They named it after
What was Friday?
Thor's mom or something. I mean, I can't remember. It was like Freda.
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was-
That actually makes a
Freda.
ton of sense. Freda.
Freda.
Friday.
Yeah. I'll give them that one.
I'll give them that. That
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
days are actually getting slightly longer because the Earth's rotation is slowing down. Atomic clocks show that the modern day is longer by 1.7 millisecond than it was a century ago. And it's increasing by 2.3 milliseconds
you
every
what.
century.
Ugh, I feel it today. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, what a
I
day.
mean, some days I can feel it, some days I can't. This is one of those days I can. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Do you want to segue into? I mean, I got more here, but
Yeah.
we can segue into New Year's resolutions if you want.
Do a couple more. What do we got?
All right, I'll do one more here. We got so the Julian calendar, named after Julius Caesar. He was the first one to make it January 1st is the New Year Day. But during the Middle Ages, which we've covered, we don't know much about, but during the Middle Ages, Christians that weren't Catholic, they got mad about it, and they're like, "We ain't doing that." So they started changing their own New Year.
Did they say we ain't doing that? Is
That's
that
right.
what that's actual? They say we ain't doing that.
The
And
actual
hey, Julius Caesar. I'd like a word with you. Let me tell you something. We ain't doing
We,
that.
the Lutherans, ain't doing that.
We ain't
all right?
doing it.
Yeah. We and the Calvinists.
We ain't gonna do it. Where are you guys from? Lebanon, Tennessee? And we ain't doing that. What county are you from?
Wilson.
Wilson. And we ain't doing that.
In the year 567, the Council of Tours, that's Tours, abolished January 1st as the beginning of the year. And it went, for a while, it was December 25th. Then they changed it to March 1st. Then they changed it to March 25th. Because
It's my birthday.
March 25th?
Mm-hmm.
We covered a couple weeks on the Christmas episode. That's when that's 9 months before Christmas, and they think that's when the angel Gabriel came to Mary and said, "You'll be with child." So 9 months later, December 25th is how we came up with Christmas. So there you go. The Council of Tours right there.
567 or 461?
There's two of them.
Oh, 567. They did 2 tours. Anyway.
They did 2 tours.
Yeah.
Of council.
All right. So maybe I found that more interesting than you guys did.
No, I liked it. I think it's good.
I don't know. I mean,
What do you think would happen if the Earth just stopped rotating?
It'd be bad quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick. I mean, you
think
said
so.
we're going 1,000 miles an hour. So
if we stopped at 0,
we'd die for
We'd
sure.
have whiplash for
we'd
sure.
fall over.
I mean, yeah, I'd say we'd fall over. I mean,
My pen would start rolling. And like, oh no.
I don't know if any buildings would stay up.
Yeah, if everything put on the brakes all of a sudden.
If it all just went,
I mean,
stop.
yeah,
A quick stop or a slow down
a
stop?
sudden stop, like we're just
We
no
would all
longer
just
spinning.
die, right?
We'd all die for sure.
I don't think we'd even know what happened. You'd be like, just
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't even see the room shake.
Yeah, the inertia of going 1,000 miles an hour and then just stopping,
Yeah.
we'd all be dead.
Hmm.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I brought that up. I've been thinking
Oh,
about that
you're-
all episode. You
Yeah.
talked about
Well,
the Earth spinning.
Yeah. Well, like your insides would feel normal. Then it's just, yeah, it'd be ugly. I don't think we'd ever know. I don't think
You
you'd
think we just
realize
die
it.
instantly?
Yeah. I would hope so.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I don't
I'd
think you
rather
wanna-
die than live in a world.
I mean, you might
Yeah.
have to like, wake up and, China's over here, like in the,
Like
because
that map?
everything just flips, goes with it.
Well, if it's nighttime, it's going to stay nighttime.
That's true. And you're
you are
stuck
alive.
with whatever time of day it is.
But hey, if it's daytime, you can play golf around the clock.
All day. Does the seasons stay the same? You kind of stuck on one season?
Not necessarily.
Because the Earth's still rotating the sun
Still going around the
in
sun.
this hypothetical scenario. It's just no longer spinning on its axis.
Mm. So it's moving still,
It's still moving,
but
just
Not
not
spinning.
spinning.
This might work out for you.
yeah,
We
Huh.
may should look into this.
maybe make it happen.
Just kind of brace yourself for impact. Maybe strap
Starting to
yourself.
I'm starting to get Eastman a little bit
Yeah.
more. I go,
You could be the George Eastman of our time.
huh. And I'm gonna make everybody walk around with seatbelts, and they're gonna go, "Why?" You go, "Because I'm gonna make the Earth stop at one point."
January 7th.
And Superman did that at one point, right?
He made it. He stopped it and sent it back the other way. We went back. in
So
time.
just don't do the last part. Just stop it.
Well, then is everything going reverse? And then we all start walking around backwards. Everywhere you go, you have to.
You have to walk backwards.
You have to walk backwards because you're going to reverse. Never know where you're going. Where are you going? I don't know. But it already knows. Because you've already been there. So you would just always go, I'm just going where I'm going. And you can never tell someone to meet you somewhere. Because they go, but I would like to go. And go, well, if you wanted to go, then you're going to be there. If you don't, then you go where you're going to go. Because we're already going somewhere. And I have no choice. It's the idea of your life's already planned out for you. But you're walking backwards.
Where you going, man? I don't know, dude.
I don't know. But I'm going. You'd be a lot of going like, you want to go eat later? We'll see. I guess we'll see if I go eat later. Yeah, I would love to go eat later, but it's not up to me. And I would be jogging backwards as I say this. Me and 2 guys jogging backwards. And I'm like, I'm surprised I was jogging this much. Would you rather go backwards or forward in your life?
I'd rather keep it how it is, dude.
Yeah.
But would you?
I enjoy going
Are you
forward.
going back in time, or you're just walking backwards?
I think you're just retracing every step you've already taken.
So you'll know when you'll eat, right?
And you're not going to remember, but
Yeah.
you're going to say, are we going to eat? Are you hungry? You're like, I'm starving right now, so I hope I eat. Go
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah,
And then you're just I think you're along for the ride.
yeah.
I don't think you can ever,
You probably remember that first meal when it first happens.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Well, I'm not hungry right now," and you're
Yeah.
like, and then you would get. I guess you would go from hungry to, you'd go from full to not hungry or to hungry
Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah.
But if you
So-
ate at Applebee 6 hours ago, when the reverse, you'll remember
Yeah.
in 6 hours, I'm back at Applebee's.
I'm like, I dropped something when I was there. I'll just grab it. And
Pick it
then
up.
I'll pick it up. And then you just, because you know what? I lost my home. I left my wallet there.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'll get it. I'll get it again. And you start backing out. That's how it would be.
I read where there's a group of scientists studying right now why time always goes forward and never
Yeah.
backwards.
Hmm.
It seems like,
Because you can only time travel forwards because of that, right?
I mean, I can't get my head around even why you would have to think about that.
I would think backwards
Yeah.
would be tougher to do than forward because everything's got to go back. Everything's already existed.
Right.
Forward is like nothing
Yeah.
exists there, so you could.
Or forward is theoretically, if you travel this faster than the speed of light, then
Yeah.
you can speed up time, right? You can jump ahead, but you can never go backwards. You can't go negative, you know?
But I know what Nate's saying. Going forward, you're going to stuff that hasn't happened to us yet.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, going back, yeah, you go back
Yeah.
do that.
If I could go back in time, would I maybe not choose calendars? Maybe. Who knows?
That's what you do.
That's
Go
what I would
back
do.
in
Let's
time.
do something.
I think we know.
Let's do something different than calendars.
I like this one.
I know. I'm joking. I like it. I didn't mind it too.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want to get in some resolutions?
Let's do a couple of those. Yep. So
All right.
about done.
All right. Well, do you set New Year's resolutions?
I did, and apparently didn't follow through because it was to stop this podcast. So I'm already out. No, no, I'm going to try to eat better. This year is like, I've been working out. I'm trying to get a lot better at golf. I practice a lot of golf, especially this downtime. So for me, mine's none comedy related. I mean, I'm hoping once comedy gets going, I plan on being back at the road, but that's career stuff. I don't think it's really resolution. Like, I'm just going to trust. I'm hoping that I'm going to write better material, tour a ton, and get better as a stand-up. And then I want to get really good at golf. I'm at like a 4 handicap. I'd love to get
You
down
are
to-
already really good.
I know, but I know how good is, and so I know how
Yeah.
far off I am. And so I would love to get. I want to get to a scratch at some point in my life. Would be great, which is a ton of work. And then I want to work out, and I've got to eat better. I know that because I'm actually working out now, and I'm not seeing. I feel stronger and stuff's getting stronger, but I don't see results, and it's because I eat. I've had Krispy Kreme twice since the Krispy Kreme challenge. Then you can't do that. You can't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't do it as a joke and then basically eat the same amount again as a regular day. So that's So it's not. Yeah, I guess it's New Year's. You feel like I start here, but I won't keep a,
Yeah.
journal or something.
Do you?
I gave up fast food this year. I made it 4 hours into my trip home from
Oh.
Wisconsin.
Did you really?
This weekend? Yeah.
And already
I
broke
ate
it.
Panera. It was like, is that really fast food?
Oh,
It
that's
felt like a healthy.
Yeah, it's
option.
healthy. I think if you go to Panera, it's way better. I
Yeah.
look at stuff. It's like if I just stopped eating, like for me, if I stopped eating fast food, we would be off to a great start
Yeah.
because you just naturally can't. You're not
Mhm.
gonna eat as bad. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, sorry for doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do it.
Yeah, because I think Panera, you can let that slide.
Yeah.
It says the Pew Research Center
Did
says,
you do one?
Yeah. Jim.
yeah, I mean, I've definitely gained weight during the pandemic, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get back from large to medium shirts.
Oh man. To be a large.
To be a large shirt?
Just
I'm in
the
medium a
freedom
ton.
shopping. As
No,
a
but
large.
I don't have it with. I get it. I don't have it because there's my old joke. I want you to not be able to see my nipples through my shirt, and I have a big problem with that. And so I would love to get that. I know my buddy Graham K, comic from Canada, still funny, but from Canada. And I'm not joking. I just always like to. I text him every Boxing Day. Yeah, I tell you that.
Yeah.
I text him Happy Boxing Day. It's fun. But Graham's got a great body. And I remember we went shopping once and I was like, he can just put on stuff like you can put on a mannequin.
Yeah.
where it's just, it's just do this. He's like, I'll wear that. I don't care. They don't care. I mean, you see kids just they can wear whatever.
Yeah.
And it all just looks fine. And then the way ours drapes. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Drapes off some weird spots.
So the most popular resolutions, number 1, getting rid of debt. Number 2, eating healthier. Number 3, exercising more. Number 4, losing weight. So the 3 out of the top 4 are all kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But according to U.S. News and World Report, the failure rate for New Year's resolutions is said to be about 80%, and most break it by mid-February. And research shows that on average, it takes approximately 66 days for a habit to become automatic.
Wow.
66 days. That's, depends on the calendar you're using, but that's,
Yeah.
it could be 4 years to 2 months.
2.5 moon cycles.
I joined Planet Fitness the day after Ralphie May died. I joined Planet Fitness, and I have never been. And you have to go into Planet Fitness to cancel it. So I don't know if I'll ever cancel it. I've been paying $10 a month for 3-4 years.
Is that typical, like y'all's New Year's resolution? One of you dies, then that's when you. Is that like y'all's New Year's resolutions?
I was working that night. My boss comes in. He goes, "Hey, I heard about that Ralphie May guy that died." I go, "Yeah, he's a really nice guy." He goes, "Kind of lets you know."
Yeah.
And I go, "Oh my God."
That's so, yeah.
Yeah, because in my head, we're like 2 different worlds,
Yeah.
right? And then I'm like, oh man. So I got on, I joined Planet Fitness. And I was like, I'm going tomorrow, and I've never been.
Mm.
And I called when the pandemic started, and I was like, okay, now you got to let me cancel over the phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm not allowed to be there. And
Yeah.
they're like, we'll put a freeze on your account, and then it'll start back up when we open back up. And I'm like, gosh.
Still can't get out.
Because they just think if you got to come in to do it, you won't do it.
Could you work
that's
out?
their business model.
Yeah.
If 100% of the people that subscribed and went there, there'd be no room.
Yeah.
They're banking on a big percentage never going.
And just keep paying. I had one for a while, and I canceled it. I forget why. Maybe Laura did.
Yeah.
You get Laura to do it. She'll do it.
She'll go down there for me and cancel. That's my New Year's resolution is to cancel my gym membership.
There's an episode of Friends where
Yeah.
Chandler and Ross go down, do it together.
Oh yeah.
They both get
to
memberships.
cancel it?
Yeah.
And whether it's the guy talks him
There's a hot woman behind the counter,
Oh.
and she talks them both in together.
I don't think there's anybody like that at this Planet Fitness.
You
but
would go, yeah, but I never think you're not big like Ralphie was. So
thank you. Yeah, that's what I know that, but still, that's what I.
He's a lot younger than Ralphie, though.
That's true.
That's true. You got to get a head start on him.
He was,
Because Ralphie, I think, was a lot skinnier than you at your age. So anyway, from the stuff that I've read about, I think Ralphie weighed about maybe a deuce and a half at 27. How old are you, Aaron? I'm gonna just do some math on here. No, you're just a big guy.
Yeah.
If you worked out, you would be.
Oh, right.
I wouldn't look at you as like. I'd always say I don't think if I saw you, I would never think of you as like, oh, look at this fat guy. I would be like, you're just a big dude.
Yeah,
big guys. Guys are big.
Yeah.
I guess my question was, if you could cancel online, it'd be 100% cancellation.
Oh, they would do it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that you got to go in it's brilliant.
Yeah, it is brilliant. It's like I kind of respect them for it, how well it works.
You just got to go in and be like, I want to just go in and you should go do it now and tell us what happens.
Okay. I'll go
then
in.
You get this motivation.
And you have to do it at the exact one that you. So I have to drive to Madison, Tennessee to that. I'll do it. I'll do it this week.
I love that you're canceling on January 4th.
Yeah. You're
They're like, are you coming in to sign up?
This is a good time to cancel.
Yeah.
Because everybody they don't even need you right now. There's so many people signing up.
Right.
So they'd be happy to lose you.
But you're going to be standing in a line with people signing up. And if you're going to get up there, I want to cancel, please.
This is the first day of the rest of my life.
And they're like,
and then you're going to go up there, and this is also still the first day of the rest of my life of just the opposite of not having this.
They're like, well, do you have your ID card? I'm like, look, this is as far as I've made it.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't have an ID card.
You never just wanted to go once. You just immediately like, I'm good.
Could you work out alone?
Past it.
Could you? Do you know how to work out?
Yeah, I did in high school for football and stuff. And I worked out a little bit. First couple of years of college, I tried. And then I kind of
you played football in college, right?
Yeah, I played full pad intramural.
Yeah.
So that kind of kept me in shape.
It's a little loose saying that. You played football in college, right? You went to Notre Dame. Everybody's like, God, he played at Notre Dame.
I played football at Notre Dame, not for Notre Dame. That's what I like to say.
Yeah. Y'all played. My dad played full pad.
In college?
My picture up there with is where I'm under his leg. He's like hiking the ball to me.
Oh, yeah.
That was they went to Trevecca and they played full pad. And one thing I remember from that was I'm 5 years old, and I would always go there and I'm watching my dad play, so I'm wearing all the football stuff, my little plastic football stuff, and I'd play on the sideline. And I remember this guy got hit in the face, and he comes over, his whole face was just covered in blood. And I remember I'll never forget it. I was 5, just like,
wow.
And he's just like, I don't know, he's just kind of wiping it off. And I mean, it's just pouring down his face. And I remember I just staring at it.
Traumatized.
Yeah. That was 1487. We had a different calendar back then. My parents did a different calendar for a couple.
Bargatze calendar.
We had a Bargatze calendar for about 2 years, and then our two, whatever. I was trying to think 5 sunsets, I think. We kept it. We did. It counted 1 year as a sunset. I don't know. All right, we're running out of stuff. We're good.
Yeah. One final update on a previous story. I meant to mention this last week. The balloon boy parents got a pardon from the Colorado's governor.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They were already out of jail, but now they're working.
Were they in jail?
The dad had to go for a while. Yeah.
A while?
Like maybe 30 days or something.
Wow. Yeah.
But his record's expunged, so he's no longer a felon.
Imagine telling the other guys in jail, "What are you in for?" I put my son in a balloon.
I
told everybody.
Told everybody I
Told
did.
everybody my son in a balloon. Did you? No. My wife wouldn't let me. Just mad about it.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
Mm.
My dumb wife wouldn't let me do it. It's like, I get it, man. What'd you do? I killed my wife.
Mm.
You're like, oh, that's it. You're like, oh. All right.
Can I plug a show?
No.
Yeah.
No.
A week from today, January 13th, doing Aaron Weber and Friends at Zany's in Nashville.
All right.
That could be a lot of fun.
Zany's.
Yeah.
Go to Zany's, everybody. January 13th.
Yeah.
Get your tickets. Limited seating. So get your tickets while you can.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be, I bet it's already doing pretty good.
Nah, I don't know.
Maybe
Hope
not.
so.
How's that mural doing?
We got a new picture. And so I did a different picture. And so we sent it to them. And then so hopefully we used a picture from my newest picture.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be up. I don't know. So we'll see. Go watch the guest book. I don't know why. The mural, all the works, something. Go watch the guest book. About to come out on Hulu. If you haven't seen it, it's a great show, Greg Garcia. As always, thank you guys for listening. We truly appreciate your comments are awesome, and we love reading them every time. Make sure you do all the stuff. What are you supposed to do? Do all the stuff you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And we can't thank you enough for listening. We'll talk to you next week. See you.